I think I'm at the point where I probably can say without a shadow of a doubt, I'm kind of just blah with the WWE product right now.
What the fuck was that?
Does he have a
It
name?
made me die.
Is that Ashley?
Probably.
Oh boy. Welcome to another edition of the I don't even know why we do these shows anymore. Popcast exclusively.
That's the official name. I don't know why the shit we do this fuck.
I don't know why we even do this anymore. Exclusively here on the Popcast Network. My name is Owen. I'm your moderator for this evening because I just I watched the show. I didn't fall asleep. I don't think. I don't know.
Sadly.
I mean, I was awake. I mean, I talked to AJ midway through the show.
And basketball and hockey happens.
Yeah. Just constantly waiting for an email, going to the gym tomorrow before I have to close. So, I mean, yeah, I just got a lot of things on my mind. So,
And the Golden State Warriors are up by 11 with 4 minutes to go.
the true
Trust
host
me,
of
it's
this
more
show.
interesting than this shit.
Yeah.
And how even WWE realized that.
Well, since he chimed in before we could get that announcement, even though I can hear my own voice now.
I haven't got my headphones on. Let me do that while you're doing the intros and everything.
And that would mean welcoming Ashley.
Oh, that's not great, Phil, because I've still got to talk. I've got to bring up my sound thing. Turn that down. Plug that in. And in theory, you shouldn't be hearing yourself now.
Nope, I'm not. Cool. So welcome everyone to, like I said before, I don't even know why we do this show anymore. I'd much rather do a Wednesday show. Wednesday shows are so much harder to do, though, timing-wise.
Well, we've been doing it well for the last couple of weeks because Raw's been so fucking terrible.
Yeah, I mean, granted, I don't have to work at, like, early o'clock tomorrow, which is good. And our classes at the gym are actually at noon, so which means I'm getting up at a respectable hour of 10 a.m. So, yeah, just we're gonna talk Raw tonight. There's other things to talk about. I'm sure that actually are a lot more important, but let's get this done. I guess get this WWE broadcast over with, and then we can move on to something more productive. The fact that
Monday night yawn.
Cody will most likely be Ring of Honor World Champion very soon because it's all about All In, as it should be.
Thanks, NWA. You've ruined it. You've ruined the storyline. I had a faint hope that Marty Scurll might win, and you just ruined it.
He was going to, but now that's not happening. Unless they just pull a fast one. But why would you tease something like this if you were
unless Marty does?
Swerve.
Unless Marty does win and Kenny interferes,
it's possible,
and it becomes Aldis versus Scurll and Cody versus Kenny.
Maybe.
Well, it seems the appropriate place to blow off the feud.
Yeah.
It all depends on what's in that box. What's in the box. Anyway, Monday Night Bore.
God, help us all.
Thankfully, they did a nice Memorial Day tribute because they always do.
As always.
So Braun comes out and says, I'm winning. There comes Balor and he goes, yeah, 1-on-1, you were the better man. But there'll be 6 other people in the ring at Money in the Bank. It's every man for himself. And of all genius like moves, Balor slaps him right in the face. Why would you do that?
And this was the moment when we all knew that Finn done messed up.
Now you fucked up.
And he got launched. You fucked up. Launched, I tell you.
And then, of course, Angle's like, I'm seeing a lot of intensity. My favorite eye. I thought his favorite eye was infertility because he's got too many kids, including his black son.
Let's forget that. That didn't happen.
So to basically to show you how much the fucking writers have come up with ideas, let's do the same shit as last week. Except, of course, thanks to DQ, because Kevin Owens blindsides Finn after he goes for a second coup de grace after hitting a first. It just goes to nothing. And it was a building to be a damn good match. And it went to nothing. So then Owens grabs a ladder, and I'm going, no, this is what you do the week before.
Yeah, I mean, I will give them credit. I mean, I like the way that Finn utilizes the coup de grace, basically like Nick Mondo's M. Bison, because that's the only way to take Braun down. And then Owens came in and interfered, and it's like, nope. But him on commentary was gold as always.
Yeah. Oh, of course. And then even getting on the mic and going, yeah, Braun, you do it. And they're like, yeah, Finn, take him down. It's like... And then, of course, Owens goes to smack Strowman with a ladder, but Strowman just grabs it. Kevin runs away and slides up the ramp because Strowman throws the ladder that far that Owens had to roll, I think, 4 times to avoid it, and he only just avoided that.
That could have been really bad. Thankfully, it was not.
Spectacle, good. As a spectacle, good.
I mean, like when Brock launched the car door into the crowd and hit a fan.
As a match, good. So then Kevin Owens is sort of... he's backstage with his bag trying to get a valet to give him his keys and whatever. And Kurt's like, where are you going? It's like, I want to see the Memorial Day parade. And then Kurt just goes, but you're Canadian. You don't care. And it's like, wait, because he isn't American, he goes, fuck the troops? Who wrote this shit? Seriously.
That's insane.
You don't care about the dead soldiers? All you care about is getting away from Braun, which is partially true, but at the same time, I don't think anybody goes, fuck the military. Oh, that person that died, depending how you feel about Iraq or Afghanistan or all those wars or whatever, you don't come back and just go, well, that guy that died was a cunt. You don't do that. So it's like, I don't know. And then, of course, video phone, Sasha Banks, video phone. So then Elias wants the silence so he can sing. But, of course, fuck all happened because this is build up to the first hour main event. Because Seth shows up. Because his match is next and Elias is refusing to leave and then eventually does. And then here comes Jinder Mahal. This was a good match, but there was a problem. The match had Jinder Mahal.
Stop trying to make that a thing.
Seth was as good as ever. Seth is the Kota Ibushi of WWE, as in, yes, he could actually have a believable match for a blow-up doll.
Yep.
Of course, because it's Memorial Day, we get another DQ finish. Except this time's it's the face smacking the heel with a chair because of a spot that happened earlier on when Sunil was causing a distraction, which led to Jinder smacking him with a chair. So then he ran up the ramp and everything, posed on the table. Seth did, and then gets smashed on the back by a guitar and fell to the floor. And then the EMTs were tending to him, and he walked out on his feet rather than being taken out on a stretcher. Now here comes Nia Jax. And then here comes Ronda Rousey, who's going to the commentary table and immediately going, oh.
Welcome, Jeremy Mills, to chat.
And then Jax grabs a microphone. And then I'm going, what the fuck is this shit? And she says, well, I'm glad you're here, Ronda, because I'll now be able to show you what I'll do to you at Money in the Bank. What the fuck is this shit? So she gets the jobber, Michelle Webb, who may or may not, I mean, let's be honest, is. Let me get the name if I can find it. Maddie Max from Texas and all that. She says, okay, put an armbar on me. And Jax basically lifts her up on the arm and slams her down to the mat. And it's like, well, that don't matter. What the fuck is this shit? And then she gave her a Samoan drop and then said, you know, I could pin you like I will do you at Money in the Bank, but I'm not done. And then Nia gives her the leg drop and says, how? You can count to 10, you can count to 20, you can count to 40. She ain't getting up. You've never faced anybody like that in the UFC. You know, my leg could literally crush a woman's chest. And you know what else could do that? And then she does a rolling senton on Webb. And it's like, clearly it looks like this young girl needs assistance. The same assistance that you'll need, Ronda, at Money in the Bank. So come on down to the ring. What the fuck is this shit?
Pretty much.
And Ronda's like doing her meme face, and Jax is like, I'm not intimidated by you. In fact, humorous! You're cute. You're cute. You're cute. You're cute. What the fuck is this shit? What the fuck is this shit? What the fuck is this shit?
This stuff is terrible.
What the fuck is this shit? Ronda is terrible on the mic. Nia's terrible on the mic. And here's the best bit. Alexa Bliss was fucking right. Alexa was the one that was told us Nia's just a bully. She's made herself look the victim, and now she's just going to be a bully to whoever else is going to try and challenge her. And whoop-de-fucking do, look what's happened. Exactly what Alexa Bliss said. So the heel was true. And the face is a barefaced liar. One more time, everybody. What the fuck is this shit?
One Triple S says, I couldn't watch Raw, but was at least decent show. Hyro's back said they should just stick with the moment of bliss.
She wasn't even on the show tonight. I forgot about that.
Nope. They took a lot of people off the show tonight.
Baron Corbin is dead. Alexa Bliss is dead. Ember Moon is dead. Roman Reigns is dead. I'm trying to think who else is on the show. It should be. Everybody was in the Raw Money in the Bank was in it. Who knows? Dana Brooke video promo. And it's like, you need math. And the math is the numbers don't lie. And they spell disaster for WWE in sacrifice. Speaking of disaster, Deleters of Worlds versus Ascension. This happened. Apparently it's now being called the Kiss of Deletion. Or as the way that Corey called it, I prefer it. The climax! You have to say it in that expression of voice because then it does actually sound like one. Cue the B team backstage who are wanting a Raw Tag Team title match. And Kurt says no. And it's like, well, okay, we'll invite the other tag teams to the B Team Memorial Day Barbecue Bash. Bobby Roode versus Kevin Owens. Oh, well, I should say Wyatt Squad video promo. Then it was Bobby Roode versus Kevin Owens, which was okay. But all it is sort of doing something with the people to sort of fill time. Owens wins. Sort of pinning from a sunset flip attempt from Roode. And then Braun Strowman basically murders or goes to murder Strowman. But, does eventually, but Roode does it. And then Strowman gives a couple of running power slams to Owens. And then Roode gets one himself. Strowman celebrates. And that, everybody, is where the Hulu edition will end. So here comes Sami Zayn. And he's like, management has been gracious to let me give a formal apology. Yeah, the interview was described on social media as brutal and cringy. A lie to the fans because they weren't the sisters. They were men that he hired to poke fun at Lashley's expense. The goal was to entertain and not provoke. I'm sorry. However, everything that was said in that promo is true. My expose was rooted in reality. I'm such a brilliant artist. I didn't think you people here would get it. You should be feeling sorry for me. Lashley's just a bully. I deserve to be in a Money in the Bank ladder match. And then here comes Bobby Lashley. And Sammy comes out, the crowd are sort of, oh, here's this shit. And then Bobby comes out as the big face, and people are going, where the fuck's Roman Reigns? Because he's smiling again and everything. He's like, for anybody who's got family members in the military like me, I salute and thank them. And Lashley's like, the sisters think you're quite entertaining. It was fun last week. Who the fuck are you, you fucking cunt, Lashley? It was fun? Fuck off. Fuck right off.
The only
Go back to that fucking bank where you lost your bloody Olympic chance and go back in there and recreate it. Because then it might stop you from having a WWE career. Dear God.
Only thing that was good in that situation was the fact it got Max Caster on television.
Yes, that's it.
That's literally it.
That's about it. And Lashley's like, I want a match of you at Money in the Bank. And the crowd are like, oh, fuck. and Zayn eventually accepts, and he's like, "Oh, I'll overkick you, stupid smile off your face." And Lashley is squeezing Zayn's hand as if it's like, "Wow, is he trying to beat him off or something?"
That's a thing.
I apologize for everything I'll do to you at Money in the Bank, and I'm like, let Zayn win and let Lashley just leave. Just remember how he left in TNA the first time round?
He's much better in Impact.
No, but after 3 months, he just fucking upped and left and didn't come back for 3 years.
I mean, once again, Lashley is much better than Impact. They know how to book him well. They know how to protect him well. And WWE has no idea what to do with it. And have it for quite a while.
Let's be honest, that's what they fucking did to him back 10 years ago.
It is.
The feud of McMahon that killed him.
Yeah.
And then the John Cena thing, which was actually a pretty good feud for Great American Bash. And then they then confirm that Cedric will be facing Buddy Murphy. 205 Live tomorrow for the Cruiserweight title. I'm guessing it's happening there rather than at Money in the Bank, because fucking hell, 6 hours at least.
No. I mean, okay, before we go any further, we have some comments from chat. Pyro wants to know where the heck AOP is.
They weren't even on fucking main event. So my answer is, I don't fucking know.
Pyro says, Ashley, can't believe Travis Banks is in.
We'll get to that because we're not gonna go through our thoughts on the stuff yet, but we have the brackets.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll be able to at least cover what's going on next week at the Download Festival. Because next week, me and Owen might be too busy marking out with, what are you laughing at, fuckface?
Yeah. I'll be watching that on tape delay. Is Flash Morgan Webster or Kenny Williams any good? Says one Triple S.
Yes, to both.
And he also says, seeing Lashley for a month lately, I can't see him to have a match with Brock, not alone take the belt off.
I don't want to see him even have a match with Bayley in a who gives a fuck match.
I'd just rather see him show back up at the Impact Zone and take out Moose for stealing his gimmick.
Hell, I prefer him to challenge Billy Nick Aldis.
Yeah, I'd be okay with that. As long as he's making money for his family, I get why it was a financial decision to go back to Stanford. But the thing is, when it comes down to it, it's not a good idea for him career-wise.
When he goes in the Hall of Fame, it will just be like, this fucker did nothing, but he's in the Hall of Fame. At least he ain't Kid Rock. You're
not wrong, but still.
Drew McIntyre versus Chad Gable was a win via Drew McIntyre's Claymore.
Not bad. Decent
Still
match.
no fucking sign of Jason Jordan.
American Alpha's coming back. Mark my words.
Also, why aren't they the fucking the tag team battle royal that's going to be coming up? Which resulted from, of course, because it's Memorial Day, fucking food fight.
That was stupid. I hate these things.
Michael Cole is corpsing at this. I think because Vince is like, fucking laugh. If you laugh, the fans will laugh. That's why you should have laughed last week at the fucking trannies in dresses. Yeah!
Once again, Max Caster for the win. Shook Crew. Hashtag be shook.
I'm trying to... Who is the wrestler that's in... Oh, that's in like the New York scene. That is the transgender one. Or the cross-dressing one. I can't even remember.
Don't remember his name off the top of my head. I do know you're referring to.
Did some stuff like in...
Oh God. Rick Cataldo? The Boy Diva.
Partially, no, the black one, the black guy. Not, it's not Snooty. It's something like that though. I can't even think.
I have no idea who you're talking
I
about
can't
now.
think of a name off the top of my head, but it's somebody that is very sort of like Exotica style but not in Mexican wrestling. I can't even remember the name, and I should do. I probably need to do some research on that. But I can't remember the name. If anybody in the comments, both live or on archive, can remind me who it is, especially if it is you. I apologize, but it's just like that would be a better angle if they actually used real people, but then that would be a little bit sort of, considering the angle that it was in, perhaps it's better that they shouldn't have been involved. Oh, I'm still trying to remember the name. Either way, yeah, it was just a giant food fight with the B team or something, which then resulted in the tag team battle royal being set up with the winners facing Matt and Bray. I'm guessing at Money in the Bank. And next week we're getting Balor versus Owens and Rude versus Strowman. So here comes Bayley. Mickey also did a video promo. Bayley doesn't get one because she's number one. She says she'll go for everybody, including Sasha, to get a chance at Money in the Bank. First up is Liv Morgan. Bayley to Bayley, done. What I just said lasted longer than a fucking match. And then in barely any time at all, with Ember Moon watching backstage and Alexa Bliss, because, that was the only time we sort of saw them, even though they could have recorded that last week, let's be honest. Bayley pins Sarah Logan after a roll-up. Then Logan and Liv beat the shit out of her. Here comes Ruby Riott, and then after we get back from commercial, Ruby hits the Riot kick, and Bayley's gone. Which means the feud with Sasha must continue. For fuck's sake. So then Dana Brooke comes out. She's gone in about 30 seconds with a Riot kick. Then there's a bit more time given to her and Mickie James, but Riot wins with a handful of tights. And then here comes Last Out. Isn't that weird, considering 5-year contract? Here comes Sasha Banks. Stops the Riot Squad from doing their interference while being in the bank statement. Puts the bank statement back on. Literally, as Riot could easily reach the ropes, she doesn't and taps. Fuck this shit. And the great thing is, you can tell the crowd are booing. What a great plan this is, Owen. The crowd are going, boo, we don't fucking like you anymore. Get your own hair back. She isn't, Sasha's still a face. Honest.
So crazy.
You can really tell that sports is happening. Because they were like, yeah, fuck it. And Golden State held on to win by 9. Golden State versus Cleveland is confirmed for whenever the fuck. I don't know if we have dates. Don't think we have.
Are we talking about Shirai tonight?
Hell yeah. We might as well do that now, considering it broke in Tokyo Sports this morning. Yeah. Io Shirai looks to finally be making her journey over to WWE. She came over 2 years ago, but nothing happened from it. Because I think when she came, when WWE did their medic thing, they saw some problem with her heart. You know, a
Yeah,
heart
I believe that's what
condition.
it was.
I've got a feeling it was like a hole in the heart. But she went a full medical examination in Japan. I don't know whether that was when WWE were over there or whether it's like one of the Japan people that WWE trusts. And I guess what it must have been was like a shadow or whatever. Because you can get that with heart scans. What looks like a hole is just some sort of shadow or something that's caused by the way that they take the picture or whatever. But she's apparently now got a clean bill of health.
That's good.
And yeah, she's heading on her way soon. The rumors sort of started last Wednesday because she dropped the Wonder of Stardom title to Momo Watanabe. But as Papa Dave notes on F4W, basically the booking was always for Momo to win because they're trying to push her as a future top star. And apparently Stardom wasn't aware of her going until the report came out in Tokyo Sports. Because the word is her last match for them will be June 17th. Which is handy because supposedly Mae Young Classic 2 Electric Boogaloo is being taped in or around August.
Yep. It's not going to be during Horror Nights this time around.
So we might be able to cover it.
Yeah, we'll definitely be able to cover it. But we're talking about Toni Storm now as well.
Well, yeah. Well, the big thing is actually that UK stuff. If we actually bring that up, United Kingdom Championship tournament. So before we get to the tournament bit itself, we already knew that British Strong Style was facing Undisputed Era on the first night. However, we now have a fatal four-way match to determine who faces the NXT Women's Champion, be it Nikki Storm or be it Shayna. The four names, I said Nikki Storm, Nikki Cross.
Wow.
Because it was probably because Toni Storm is one of the four wrestlers. Like, too many Storms. But the other three names are interesting. You've got Isla Dawn, who's been doing some good stuff already on the scene. Ginny from Progress. And also Killer Kelly on from Portugal. So I am pleasantly surprised. That's a good set of names. Even though it's obviously going to be Toni Storm because she's the only one that's directly on a UK contract.
For now.
And we know that it will be Aleister Black and Ricochet versus EC3 and Velveteen Dream in a tag match on day 2.
Nice.
And then Undisputed Era defending their tag titles if they're still champs. And the same with Adam Cole with the North American title. So then we get to the brackets. So whoever wins this tournament faces Pete Dunne. So the bracketology, as it stands, is Gallagher versus Gulak, Ashton Smith versus Joseph Connors, Flash Morgan Webster versus James Drake, Kenny Williams versus Dave Mastiff, El Ligero taking on Travis Banks. Sorry, Ligero. Zach Gibson versus Amir Jordan, which means either Banks or Gibson's getting knocked out in the quarters, which is interesting. Tucker versus Joe Coffey, and Jordan Devlin versus Tyson Tebow. Coffey versus Devlin should be fun. I'm trying to work out whether they actually would put over Drew Gulak.
I think so.
Because Gulak versus Pete Dunne is a match I want to see. Even though realistically it should be somebody at least from the UK and or a Commonwealth country, at least in the case of the Banks of Travis. So I don't know. I honestly don't know. I'll have to see. I guess the one thing is worth noting is Gallagher and El Ligero are like 160, 170 in weight. Dave Mastiff is 322. You can put them together and they only just match the weight of Dave Mastiff.
Wow.
I also love the fact that El Ligero is apparently from Leeds, England. God damn it, WWE's from Mexico. Next, you'll be saying that, I don't know, El Generico from Canada? What's up with that? What's up with that? And then Shawn Michaels is apparently making some sort of appearance at the Albert Hall as well. Or something. Something that's just come in the last hour or so. Michael Bisping is saying that he's going to be retiring with immediate effect. Apparently, he was going to fight Rashad Evans in London this month for the show that they've got later on in June, I think. But after watching Journeyman with Paddy Considine and all that, which is a story about a fighter who suffers major injuries and health declining when he refuses to stop fighting, is basically he went, yeah, I don't want to end up like that. So it looks as if Bisping's done and whatever. Just wanted to mention that because that is proper legit bracking news. Brack in it.
More comments real quick from chat. Hyra says rather talk about New Japan than Raw. Yeah.
We'll get to that.
Hyra says, is Kahagas that good to have the NWA national title for 400 days? Why can't he be NWA heavyweight champion instead of Nick Aldis?
You can put that question to Tim Storm as to why he was champion for how many days before Aldis took it off him.
That's also a fair point. The NWA title has basically been very much like a hot potato for many, many years.
Mm-hmm. And that ain't a good thing.
No, it's not.
Bad thing. So the standings, speaking of New Japan, the standings as they are oh wait, I haven't got them in that bracket. Thanks, internet. Best of Super Juniors 27, is it?
I believe so.
No, 25. 25. I think G1 Climax is like 27 or 28. That's why I'm getting confused. If I can bring it up and actually see what the rankings are right now. So in Block A, the big thing that came out of it is Bushi beating Will Ospreay from the last set of shows a few days back. In total, nobody's running away with it. Because
Tiger Mask is doing well.
Well, if we look at the standings, Block A is led by both Tiger Mask and Flip Gordon
Yep.
on 6. But then Kanemaru, ACH, Ishimori, and Osprey are all on 4. And Yo and Bushi are both on 2. So everybody's won 1 and everybody's lost 1. And then in Block B, which I believe was earlier today, Marty Skull beat Desperado, Chris Sabin beat Dragon Lee, Kushida beat Sho, and Takahashi beat Taguchi in a pretty solid match. The table stand for this one: Dragon Lee ahead on 6, then Sabin, El Desperado, Takahashi, Kushida, Skull, and Sho all on 4, and then Taguchi on 2. So again, there's nobody out of it. There's nobody on 0. There's nobody on 8. So we're still getting down to the crunch time, which should be next week, I think. Let's have a look. Puerto Resu. No, not Puerto Rico. I'm trying to see if I can get the actual dates of the shows. It might not be the exact cards. Oh, come on. Internet. Tinternet. Oh, wait. Isn't there any? Are they just being annoying now?
Maybe.
That's not good. And I should probably just bring up the calendar directly. So I see March and April on the side here, but not. Of course, it's taking forever to load because I've got too many tabs open.
What happens?
Have a quick look. I'm guessing the New Japan finale must be in the next week because Dominion's obviously on the 9th. New Japan is listed for next Saturday, the 2nd. So no, wait, can't. Is it over by then? Logically, it'd have to be, wouldn't it? No, I guess it makes sense because they've all had 4 matches, and there's 8 people in the thing.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got New Japan shows on the 29th, the 30th, and the 31st. And then the 2nd, the 3rd, and the 4th. So I think Monday the 4th is the New Japan Cup final, or Best of the Super Junior Finals day. And then whoever wins that will probably challenge Osprey at Dominion on the following Saturday. So none of these guys get a rest.
Wow.
Yeah, so thinking about that, they're wrestling Tuesday. Tuesday's the. Hang on, that calendar's wrong. I think they're wrestling later today, local time. So it's like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. I think that's the Best of the Super Junior schedule. They're doing like 6 matches in the space of 9 days. Ow! But the big thing happened is when Bushi won, Naito celebrated with him, and then a Jericho video got played. He basically said how Naito's a turtle, and he's going to fuck him up because he can say fuck a lot. What you laughing at? Fuck face and all that. Which of course means we've got a legit double main event again for Dominion. Naito versus Jericho. Which, hell, they could even build up in some shape or form, probably at the Best of the Super Juniors final. And then the 2 out of 3 falls, no count out, no time limit, whatever, match with Kenny and Kazuchika. And all that. So promising times ahead. I guess the one thing to mention, did you see any clips from the Mauro Ranallo documentary?
For many reasons, I definitely need to watch it. I haven't had a chance to yet.
No, you need to watch it. That's all I'll say. It's very good. It briefly touches on the WWE stuff because apparently it was all the WWE stuff got added very late on in production because this has been, years in the making and whatever. But it's very interesting how really positively Triple H and Cole speak of him. And yes, I do mean Michael Cole. Michael Cole is the guy that basically scouted and basically said Mauro is the perfect guy for us. For once, Michael Cole, I am in bloody agreement with. Proof that he's not actually a twat.
Well, that's the thing. That's what a lot of people can't differentiate the difference between Michael Cole, the character, and Michael Cole, the person.
Yeah, but it's like, they're talking, the fans are saying, like, unlike other people, he actually does his homework on what he's covering. Which I bet when Michael Cole was watching, it was like, I mean, I do homework. I go on the Google because that's why I have a tablet there with me. So, but that was an interesting, fun little thing.
Yeah.
The New Japan G1 special in San Fran is going to be live on Access on July 7th, if officially confirmed. Which wasn't a sort of a big surprise. Supposedly tomorrow is when this Aman versus Punk / Cabana court case is going to start. Which is brilliant timing considering Punk's got a fight in, 2 weeks?
I believe so.
Johnny Mundo's on Survivor. Just randomly. The great thing is, it's like they put him in the preview video for the next season, despite the fact that this was put on the end of the finale to the current season. So that's a bit weird. I guess the problem for me and Owen is we've now got to do 5-hour pay-per-views, possibly.
I'm not down with this at all.
At least for the big four. And 4 hours on the regular, possibly. The word is that they're starting the shows early so they can finish them around about 10:30. So basically, the show's going to be the same length as what you got with Backlash.
God.
Except they're just moving it an hour earlier so they won't be finishing so late. Supposedly. And whatever. Also, the Miz and Mrs. show is coming up in July. On the E thing. Whatever that is. Thing. Apparently, Impact's ratings were only 263,000. Probably because it was going up against the NBA playoffs. Apparently, that's the lowest rating since February. When I don't know what they were up against that time. Vaguely, off the top of my head. All I will say is, I'm still loving the fact that Rosemary and Ali are the same person, even though they're not, but they are, but they're not. Oh, and then we also had the official confirmation last week after I wouldn't say the day after we were gone, but at least a couple of days after. ESPN now has the full rights to UFC from Fox, who now have a SmackDown. There's a lot of people. I can't remember who it was, whether it was Ryan Satin or whatever, noted how it's possible that Fox cancelled Brooklyn Nine-Nine for WWE SmackDown. But then, of course, it's led some people to ask then, what's the point in having the WWE Network? Because if Fox has the right money, I could imagine some of the pay-per-views just being on Fox as specials. Especially if, I think the rumor was it's like $250 million a year, isn't it, or something?
Something like that.
For like 4 or 5 years. Pretty fucking ridiculous.
Hyro wants to mention the fact that he says ACH is really good. He reminds me of Apollo Crews.
ACH has been good for years. It's just he got blackballed by God knows how many people. Apart from New Japan, they stuck with him.
Yeah. Who is going to be Rey Mysterio's opponent at Dominion?
I wouldn't. Well, I don't think you'll find out until next week.
Probably not.
This time next week when we have, I think, the winner.
Is Aries still making Ring of Honor appearances?
He was at the TV tapings.
He was.
And the title never changed hands. Because I think there was interference. So it led to a double DQ or whatever. Or a no contest. So possibly for Best in the World if they wanted to do it. But then the problem, that's a bit close to the Impact stuff, isn't it? It's a few weeks after.
Yeah.
Because it's end of June for Ring of Honor. Because I will say Aries wasn't in Defiant this week. Or anything. I don't know where Aries has been this week. Where in the world is Austin fucking Aries? Thing I should probably do now, though, is bring up the results of the Indies. Tay Indies, because apparently a shit ton happened, which is never good. The first being, I guess, the obvious one. Bask in His Glory, the final show from Pro Wrestling Guerrilla at the hallowed American Legion Hall. At least as it stands. Which is always sad. Apparently the bloody Legion Larry, who's the bloody cleaner for the place, was actually selling signed 8x10s. And they sold out. That's the best bit. So Tyler Bateman beat Andy Brown. Ray Horus beat Jake Atlas. Bandito beat Robbie Eagles with a match that had the ring literally covered in money. It was that good. Adam Brooks beat Keith Lee. And Keith Lee kept going, I don't know why I keep losing all these matches. Jonah Rock beat Timothy Thatcher. Matt Riddle beat David Starr. And then Volta retained over Sammy Guevara. Go to Sammy's Twitter and check out the pictures from that, the aftermath of that match. Sammy got chopped so hard, parts of his chest were going black.
Wow.
The chops were that hard. Fuck. AAW's Take No Prisoners. See if I can get the sort of big things, because there's a lot of video things. A quick look. Penta and Phoenix beat Firefox and Bone Reed and AR Fox, which was well received. And then in the main event, Kimberly beat Jessica Havoc to become the new, second ever and new AEW Women's Champion. And then afterwards, Brody King showed up, hit Jessica Havoc with a bicycle kick, which of course led Sami Callihan to come out, and there was a giant fucking fight. Because shoot. With the Anniversario show from Shikara, not a huge amount, I'd say, going down. At least in terms of like big significant stuff. Creatures of the Deep won their match and sort of indicated that they're going for team of trios, which I guess makes sense. Cam Zagami made fun of Green Ant for losing to Fire Ant and says that he'll retain the Young Lions Cup at the Beyond Wrestling show, which is, the following day. Lucas Calhoun and Jeremy Leary beat the Proteus Wheel, so the turned goodies, even though they were part of the Proteus Wheel, got the win, but eventually the Proteus Wheel sort of attacked them afterwards. So then in the 5-on-5, Solo Darling and Angela Setti were the winners, the sole survivors, if you will, from that. And then Juan Francisco retained the title over Quackenbush, making him pass out to the Coronado Clutch. In a big surprise, Coronado actually won clean with no interference, which is proof that he can do it with, relatively normal shenanigans rather than stupid shenanigans. It is possible. Somehow. Just is. So then we get to IW. First, I'll mention the Chandler Biggins Memorial Tag Team Tournament. No Consequences of Trey Lamar and Chase Oliver beat the other two of No Consequences, Garrison King and Joshua Bishop. Duke Money of Mance Warner and Jock Sampson beat the Philly Marino Experience of Philly Collins and Marino Tenaglia.
Shout out.
Weird World beat the Party Never Stops of Twan Tucker and Parker Pierce. Weird World being Weird Body, Evan Adams, and Worldwide Alex Keller. And then the production of Don Danhausen and Eddie Only beat the Carnies of Nick Iggy and Kerry Awful. Then Nick Gage retained the absolute title over Dr. Daniel C. Rockingham with a pile driver. Wes Barkley beat Zach Thomas, Riley Reid, and Tom Kwon Do. And then the four-way elimination tag, Weird World won it to win the tournament. Duke Money eliminated No Consequences, apparently. The production was eliminated second. I'm not sure by who. And then Duke Money were the last to go. So Weird World win that one. Then to the J-Lit, the JT Lightning Invitational Tournament itself. Round one, Tom Lawler beat Frankie Flynn. Dominic Guarini beat Lewis Linden. Maxwell Jacob Freeman beat Space Monkey. Josh Bishop, replacing the injured Nunzio because of an MCL, beat Josh Prohibition in a big old upset. Matt Justice beat Ethan Page in probably another upset. Jody Fleisch beat Andrew Everett with a 720 DDT. You heard that right.
Jody Fleisch used to use that finish all the time.
Tracy Williams made AJ Gray submit. Gangrel beat Tim Donst. What? Colin Delaney beat Cheech. Laredo Kid beat Gringo Loco. Magnum CK pinned Swoggle, and Joey Janela beat Marty Jannetty in the main
Shout
event.
out.
Then when we get to day/night 2, the spoiler is Nick fucking Gage never showed up or got fucked up in the other match because he didn't wrestle. Colt Cabana had to face Mance Warner instead. Colt won, but who the fuck knows? In the semi-finals, the four-way semi-finals, Matt Justice beat Gangrel, Magnum CK, and Maxwell Jacob Friedman. Hot Sauce Tracy Williams beat Tom Lawler, Dom Guarini, and Joshua Bishop. And Joey Janela beat Colin Delaney, Laredo Kid, and Jody Fleisch. No Consequences beat the besties in the world. Then afterwards, the production, the four of them, beat Little Guido, Big Mo, and the Philly Marino Experience. So I guess Nunzio wasn't injured then. Or something. Lewis Linden beat Andrew Everett, Cheech, Gringo Loco, Nate Red, and Space Monkey. Swoggle and PB Smooth retained the tag titles over Ethan Page and Dr. Daniel C. Rockingham. And then the J-Lit final was won by Joey Janela.
I'm not really surprised at that.
Eliminating both men as well, interestingly. And then Janela got fucked up by Tim Donst. Because, yay. So then we get to, if I can get all three of them, the Ring of Honor UK shows. Which, let's be honest, was a bit weird. So, night 1 in Edinburgh, Shane Taylor beat Scorpio Sky. Sonata and Evil beat SoCal Uncensored in a non-title match. Kelly Klein and Chardonnay beat Sumi Sakai and Tennille Dashwood. Punishment Martinez beat Kenny King. The Young Bucks beat Nick Aldis and Mark Haskins. Apparently, it was supposed to be Doug Williams, but he wasn't. He like couldn't be in two places at the same time, as he said. So I don't know what other show he was doing. I don't remember. The Boys beat Toriano and Delirious. Silas Young beat Joe Hendry to retain the TV title. The Kingdom beat Dalton, Castle, Jay Lethal, and Tanahashi to retain their six-man titles. The Briscoes then beat Hangman Page and Cody in the main event for the tag titles. So, yeah, as you can tell, a very average show, in all honesty. It got a little better with Doncaster. Yano and Kenny King beating the Addiction. Because, you know, Yano is Yano. Silas Young retained the tag title, the TV title over Doug Williams. So I guess he could wrestle then. Bully Ray, Punishment Martinez, and Shane Taylor beat Dalton and the Boys. Jay Lethal beat Matt Taven in a well-praised match. Sumi Sakai retained the Women of Honor title against Chardonnay in a who gives a shit match. Because you can tell people do not care about Sumi Sakai being champion. I don't know if that blew up. Okay, this is from the Doncaster show. They didn't open right in my fucking thing. Brilliant. Cody versus Scorpio Sky. Or Cody beating Scorpio Sky, sorry. Hiroshi Tanahashi beat Adam Page. And the Young Bucks beat LIJ, the Briscoes, and the Kingdom in the four-way main event. Probably the strongest show of the lot was the one in London from Crystal Palace. Mainly because, holy shit, Dalton wrestled on this match. on this card, like on his own. So Lethal beat Mark Briscoe. Toriano beat Shane Taylor because, of course, shenanigans. Daniel Dashwood beat Kelly Klein. Jay Briscoe went over Mark Haskins. Silas Young retained against Tanahashi Sanada and Punishment Martinez. Just. Bully Ray beat the boys, power bombing them and winning them both. In sort of a wow, that's really important. It isn't match. Cody beat Kenny King, and then Dalton beat Evil. So yeah, despite the fact Dalton's supposed to be injured and can't do anything, he still wrestled this match, which did play into the storyline somewhat. But then at the same time, it's sort of like, well, because of what the NWA have done, that's just the quote, to steal a line from bloody Daryl. That's just a stick-in time bomb. And then there was a triple threat 6-man tag title match with the Kingdom retaining against SoCal and Censored and the Hung Bucks. So, solid, but it sort of didn't feel right, if you know what I'm saying.
Makes sense.
It didn't gel perfectly. And then we get to Beyond Wrestling's All Day. All day. All day. Well, actually, first we need to bring up the Solid Gold show from Saturday. No big stuff went down sort of on the pre-show, New England Mania as it was described. But on the main show, Lufisto beat AR Fox. Chuck Taylor beat Chuck Taylor. Okay, I should clarify that. It's Chucky T beating Chuck Taylor, who may or may not be Stokely Hathaway. So that happened. Bill Carr beat Ryan Galeone. The Beaver Boys beat the Dream Team. Keith Lee over Jerome Daniels. David Starr beat Penelope Ford. Doom Patrol beat Massage Envy. Kimberly beat Josh Briggs. And then Ringkampf beat LAX. On the second show, the all-day show, from Electric Haze, from Electric Haze, Team Pazuzu, the four of them beat the Skulk. AR Fox beat Jerome Daniels. Cam Zagami retained the Young Lions Cup against Green Ant. Josh Briggs beat Jonathan Gresham. Joey Janela beat Volta. Wait, what? Joey Janela beat Volta? What happened there? Robo the Punjabi Lion beat Anthony Green. Wheeler Yuta beat Matt Riddle. And Mia Yim beat Keith Lee. So Keith Lee's last match was losing to Mia Yim. That's a thing. And then for the Women's Wrestling Revolution show, which I think was that evening. Actually, no, because if the Powerbomb match was on it, it probably was in the afternoon. Team Powell of Jordan Grace and Lufisto beat Tasha Steeles and Karen Q. Ali Rex over Delmi Exo. Samara beat Oceana. Chris Statlander beat the Wido Belmont. The Bird and the Bee of Solo Darling and Willow Nightingale beat Alicia and Gillian Lee. Kimberly over Penelope Ford. Skylar beat Chelsea Green. Tracy Hot Sauce Williams retained the Powerbomb Independent title over Tessa Blanchard. And then Deonna Purrazzo beat Davienne. Quite a few of those names are rumoured for the Mae Young Classic, depending how many people it is. We'll have to see. We will have to see. We've actually got Defiant spoilers in for a change. I guess somebody paid attention or something. Maybe. And then I need to go back to like 1978. So with the Defiant show that happened earlier today, which again is now suffering from the fact that half the people that on it can't be on the World of Sport show and can't be on WWE or whatever. So Aussie Open beat Prospect of Gracie and Archer. Yeah, that team that split up is now back together because there's nobody else they can fucking go with. LOL. Millie McKenzie beat Lana Austin. Chief Deputy Dunn over Jack Sexsmith. Brooks teamed up with Kaylee Ray to beat Jimmy Havoc and Mark Haskins. Rampage retaining the world title over Joe Hendry. Kirby beat David Starr. B. Priestley beat Chardonnay. Prince Amin and Simon Miller beat Drake and Gabriel Kidd. I'm trying to work out why Kidd turned heel. And Volta beat Travis Banks and Zack Sabre Jr. in a freeway for the internet title. Is that an omen for what's to come with Travis Banks? Maybe. So then the most important show. We go to May the 27th, 1978. With it wasn't Jim Smallman got the night off. In his place was Jimmy Barnett, who may or may not have been Jim Smallman. So the Mod and the Rocker of Flash Morgan Webster and Mark Haskins, who came out dressed as a cowboy, beat Greased Lightning of Eminem, of Connor Mills and Maverick Mayhew. Now I'm guessing I should know this, but I don't exactly. Chris Brooks came out as the Misfit Chris Only in like white face paint and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
What's that in reference to?
Jerry Only from the Misfits.
That was it.
Yep.
He beat Catweasel Jr. of Chuck Mambo. Yeah, World of Sport. World of Sport. In the Natural Progression Series semi-final, the black belt Chris Ridgway beat peace-loving Drew Parker. Travis Banks and TK Cooper came out as the Sheepwhackers. They beat the Fighting Irish Jordan Devlin and Shiny Disco Ball was El Phantasmo. The Kings of Europe, who may or may not have been the Grizzled Young Veterans, beat the Billabong Boys, who may or may not have been Aussie Open. Then, in a thing that made my voice break, apparently, Nina Samuels and Isla Dawn crashed the show, even though women's wrestling in London is not allowed this year. And then Progress Wrestling went, screw the ban. Women are wrestling in 1978. So Nina Samuels beat Isla Dawn. Jizzy Jizborn, who may or may not have been Jimmy Havoc, beat AJ Street Smith, who may have been Jack Sexsmith. And then the main event, Double Meat Popeye Mulligan, who may or may not have been Matt Cross, beat the King of Bogans, Andrew Wilmot, who may or may not have been Adam Brooks. From what I've heard, especially because amazingly nearly all the fans actually did show up in 70s gear, including some that were dressed as grannies that were saying, have you been a good boy or girl? Come over to Granny for your Werther's originals. Oh, I cannot wait for this to be up on Progress on Demand. In fact, it might already be. Might have to check that out. That was my late birthday present. That was a show from 19 years before I was born.
Okay.
I think Charlie Evans actually put in a tweet as well. It's like, I can't wait for this show to happen 19 years before I'm born.
A couple messages in chat here. So Hyra wants to know, when will Katsuyori Shibata return, and if so, will he still feud with Hiroki Goto for the Never Openweight Championship?
Who was that about? Shibata?
Shibata.
Possibly at Wrestle Kingdom if he feels up to it, but if he's happy enough doing dojo stuff in America, especially considering what he went through, I don't blame him. He wants to come back, and I don't want to stop him. But considering the way it nearly ended his career, we're talking what happened to Daniel Bryan, but probably 10 times worse.
Right.
So it's sort of like, I don't want him to come back if it's going to result in stupid shit.
Understandable.
especially because of his style. He's not going to be able to do anything like that ever again. You're just going to have to take that Okada Shibata match and just watch it over and over and over.
Are we? Is Volter still Atlas champion?
No, on the last, I think it was Super Strong Style 16. The 3-day tournament, Ali Pali. Travis was like, "Well, if you've already got a belt, why the hell do you want mine?" So Volter's just like, "Okay, I vacate this title because I'm coming after you." I was like, well, that's put you in your place, Travis.
Speaking of Travis Banks, what is his style and what is a match that you should check out? This is from Hyro.
Ooh, I don't know what Travis Banks matches are on YouTube. Travis Banks. Well, he's done some stuff for Defiant, hasn't he? Or the former WCPW. He did have a match with Marty Skull recently. If you search Travis Banks full match, you'll find it. He actually did fight Volta one-on-one back a month or so ago from No Regrets, which is up on Defiant Wrestling's YouTube channel. I don't know whether that's the full match. I should probably have a click on it and see. Oh no, it is. So Fight Club Pro. There's a match up on somebody's YouTube channel, which is an interesting one, considering it's Travis Banks defending the FCP title. I think this is the one where I think that this is the one where Chris Brooks won the title, from what I remember. But it's Travis Banks versus Pete Dunne versus Trent Seven versus Tyler Bate versus Chris Brooks versus Kid Lycos. So it's sort of, even though it's a 6-man, it's sort of British Strong Style versus CCK, if you want to call it that. So that's a good one. The match he had with David Starr that I'm seeing here, he also did face Ricochet. So I mean, there's quite a few matches, at least just from Defiant Wrestling and FCP, that you'll be able to find that are very good matches. So go check him out. The reason why I don't think he'll be doing anything big is because he actually trains like 2 or 3 sets of wrestlers already. I mean, Fight Club Pro's dojo, if you want to call it that, which is where Nixon Newell and Millie McKenzie and Omari have come from, are all trained by him. So, he knows his shit. That's what I'm trying to get at. So I'm just having a quick look what we've got coming this weekend. House of Hardcore 44 going down. PWX stuff. That might just be house shows actually looking at it, or training stuff. OTT Wrestling over in Ireland's got a show. Ring of Honor's at the Manhattan Center. I don't think that's TV tapings. I'm not sure. I know it's the big New York show that's coming up this weekend. Also, we've got House of Hardcore 45 as well, apparently. Rev Pro is going to be live in Southampton. Kaiju Big Battle presents Bash at the Bell 96. Don't know why I'm bringing that up. And Smash Wrestling is having the Northern. It's 2-show tournament, which will obviously all be filmed for stuff. And also the Battle Arts Academy in Mississauga is doing the one-night only taping with Impact and whatever, in conjunction with Destiny Wrestling and all that. Which means we are not that far off, because the following weekend, not only is it Dominion, It's also CZW Tournament of Death. And on the Sunday, we've got the first She-Evolution show, which is the offshoot of Pro Wrestling Eve. And also Sheffield hosting Chapter 71 of Progress, along with too much stuff. So yeah, it's busy. That's probably not even all the shows because I haven't done my weekly search of the Facebook things to get notified of the events. There's probably more. That should be sort of the idea of what's coming up mainly for you for this weekend to keep an eye out for.
Okay.
I think just seeing if there's anything. I don't know if there's anything live happening this weekend that's being streamed, which means I need to go over to my place. In my place. I'm quoting Coldplay songs. Oh no.
Why hasn't there been any Omega matches lately?
Because he's been busy being Cody for the Street Fighter thing. Did you not see that? It was awesome. So by the looks of it, there's a AAA show happening. Let's have a quick look. Happening on Thursday. You might want to keep an eye on. There's also a Dragon Gate Kurikan Hall show in the early hours. Well, it was about 5:30 Eastern time. On Friday. Saturday. Well, Friday into Saturday because it's that late, at least Eastern time. Hood Slam is going to be on Twitch with Bridget the Requitter, I believe it is. And I think that's just all the stuff that's going on next week, at least live, that's being streamed. Certainly, as I say, the Hood Slam show you will be able to watch live on Twitch. Because they're taping, I don't think they're going to be broadcasting the Impact stuff live. Plus, I don't know what else there is going on. I don't know if like twitch.tv/wrestling. So I was going to look for the Twitch events. Let's have a quick look. Directory game, I guess. No, I don't want live channels. Oh God, somebody's putting backyard wrestling on Twitch. Oh no! Oh no! Oh, that's not good. Where's the... No, I don't want Impact Wrestling events. I want just wrestling events. Okay, I can't even find it. That's good. I mean, it's not good. There you go. Yeah. But that's all the major stuff that's at least going down, from what I can tell.
So once again, we're pretty much have done a Wednesday show on Monday.
Well, yeah, because we ain't going to be doing it on Wednesday because, you know, we need to fill something other than say how shit Raw is.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
You know, SmackDown was all right, but the way they drug out the Last Man Standing thing was like, meh. And the fact that wow, what the fuck is going on with Cass? Because it's like, is he injured? Isn't he injured?
I really don't care.
I guess we find out tomorrow. Because if he shows up and interferes, clearly it's a shoot. If he doesn't, clearly he came back from that ACL tear too soon, which is ironic because some people felt that he came back too late because that injury normally takes much longer to heal. So in which case, his career might be finished. So another thing that we can blame that rapper, Enzo, on. Yeah, that happened. That's the only time I'm bringing it up because it's I don't know what the shit that was. It makes Randy Savage's album looks like, I don't know, The Streets, Eminem, Jay-Z, and Kanye, and whatever combined. So on that bombshell.
That might be our show then.
On that bombshell.
Just a couple things real quick. How do you find a good local indie show? And how do you know that it's a good one?
Whew. I mean,
please make it just a basic statement. We got to take it home.
If it's got people that you recognize from like various other things that they've brought in, you'll probably enjoy it because you enjoy their work. But try and get like word of mouth. Look what's said on social media and whatever. And if people say like, this is a good promotion, and to be honest, as well, price. If it's something that's affordable and it'll let you escape for a couple of hours, rather than like a shindy show which is $40 or $50 because there's big name talents are on, whereas you might get more entertainment from one that you're paying only $10 for.
Right.
In that honesty, it's hard to pin it down as like but see what there is. I've noticed that there's a few near me that I didn't even pay attention to, but they've had like Chris Wolf and Travis Banks and a few other sort of good wrestlers on the last few shows. So, which I'm interested in sort of checking out if and when my finances get better.
And the last question we have, Hyra wants to know thoughts on Progress and ICW going to the network and the rumor about it.
I mean, if it means more people get to see it than having to pay, a couple of dollars or whatever a month for actually getting the arc, getting access to Progress on Demand or ICW on Demand, fair play. Actually, that was the one thing. I did see a video from ICW that they're doing a new set and a new design and everything. Apparently, they're doing some sort of like thing with the BBC, which is like ICW and BBC's version of WWE's Tough Enough, looking for wrestlers. Which, considering how well it did in terms of finding Grado, that actually might. I mean, okay, it wasn't through the BBC, but Grado was found in sort of a random talent scout thing. So, if it means more eyes on the product, for a product which I feel is much more aligned with NXT than the rest of the shit WWE's doing, probably good, but I'm hoping that the companies get compensation for those people now not paying for the stuff on Progress on Demand and whatever. Unless it means a 2-tiered network, but it probably will anyway, but there you go.
Okay, I think that's our show then. Once again, I want to thank everyone for joining us tonight. And Ashley, where can we find you on social media?
I am on Twitter at AshIsMyNameUK.
And
stuff.
We also have Snack Stash coming later this week. We have Game with Ash coming in the near future. More wrestling content. So stick around for more Ashley content here on this network. Follow me on Twitter at Sir Disney. Follow the network at Popcast Network. Check out our Facebook fan page of Popcast Network. And that's going to be your show. And as always, in a world where there are a billion wrestling podcasts, we're very pleased that once more you've chosen a Popcast. I thank everyone for watching. Thanks everyone for listening. And until tomorrow, boys and girls, that's all we got to say about that.
This stream needs an FOV slider. God bless you, Total Biscuit.